everybody, welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I hope you are all happy and healthy. If you are new here and this is the first time that you're clicking onto one of my videos, thank you for being here. My name is Jade and I'm currently pregnant with my second baby. I'm a personal trainer and I love sharing all things pregnancy, motherhood and fitness related. So if that's your kind of content, then please do subscribe to my channel and it'd be so nice to have you stick around. This is my little girl. Yes, that's your shoes. You want to put your shoes on? So it's been a while since I did a pregnancy update. I think I was 24 weeks when I last did a pregnancy update, and I am now, well, by the time this video goes up, I'll be 29 weeks. So I'm 29 weeks pregnant tomorrow. So I am now in the third trimester, the final countdown. Honestly, time is just slipping away from me. It is going so quickly. I honestly don't know where the time's gone, and I can't believe how long it's been since I last checked in and did one of these videos. So I have written some notes. Honestly, not much has happened. I have just been so busy with work and just trying to stay alive while being pregnant and looking after this absolute wild child. So I am feeling okay. I have good days and I have bad days. I'm definitely noticing since I've got to the third trimester, things are just definitely feeling harder. This pregnancy is definitely harder than my pregnancy with a Lula, just because I think because I have a Lula to look after now, and I think, I don't know, like I think because I went into this pregnancy with not the best, how can I put this? So before I got pregnant with a Lula, I was pretty fit. I had a really good level of fitness, my posture was good, all of that kind of stuff. And after having a Lula, obviously I was training, I was still, you know, in good shape, I was healthy, but my posture, because I was breastfeeding as well, and I didn't stop breastfeeding until about 16 weeks pregnant, I think I was, with this baby. I had breastfeeding posture, and I think just carrying that into another pregnancy has just made it a little bit easier for me to slip into like bad posture, which is causing a little bit of backache, which I never got, and those kinds of things. But yeah, I think no pregnancies on anybody like are the same. Like everyone that I've spoken to, they say is so different the second time around, and it is, it really is. But I've got some notes because there's no way I was going to remember everything. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I think it was the end of 27 weeks when I was just going into the third trimester, and I noticed I had the similar thing happen when I was just going into the second trimester. So I think it was like a surge of hormones or something, but I had these like weird crampy feelings. I was absolutely exhausted, like absolutely drained, just felt completely tired. I was feeling nauseous, my appetite was up one minute and then completely down the next, not wanting to eat anything. I just felt really, really rubbish. And I actually contacted the midwife because I thought, you know, maybe my iron's low, or it was these cramps that I was having that I was concerned about. Like at one point I really thought that I was having contractions and I was in labour. Basically spoke to the midwife, and she said like the cramps don't sound like anything to worry about. It could just be like general cramping. It could be like a muscular thing. Not really sure, to be honest. Didn't really get an answer for it, but I did speak on my Instagram about it, and a few people said like they remember having the same thing in their second pregnancy. And apparently the midwife said not, but apparently some people said like their Braxton Hicks were painful. So I wonder whether it was Braxton Hicks, but the midwife said that Braxton Hicks shouldn't be painful, but some people said they are. So yeah, not really sure, but like I said, I think it was a big hormone surge going into the third trimester because my skin flared up. It was really red and spotty. I got some like big cystic acne spots come up again, which I really struggled with in the first trimester when hormones were obviously crazy. So I think that, yeah, maybe baby was having like a growth spurt, and that's what all the cramps were, like literally my belly stretching and my uterus just like going through a really big period of growth. But yeah, it was a rubbish, I would say, week. I feel a lot better now. I still feel really, really tired. I am seeing the midwife tomorrow, so I'm 29 weeks tomorrow, and I'm seeing her tomorrow. She's coming over to do my bloods for my iron. Well, I don't know what they do bloods at 28 weeks for, but I've asked her if she will check my iron. I last seen the midwife, I can't remember what I was now. It was a few weeks ago. I think I was, let me get my notes. So the last time I seen the midwife, she did measure my bump. So I will talk about that because my bump has definitely grown. So yeah, the last time I seen the midwife, I was about 25, nearly 26 weeks, and my bump was measuring 23.5, so basically all fine. If anything, a little bit on the small side, but not concerned at all about that. So I will be really interested to see what my bump is now measuring when I see her tomorrow, because I know I'm bigger. Obviously I'm bigger, it's been a few weeks, but I really thought that I was really big when I went to that appointment, and then when she measured me and she said, no, you're about right, if anything a little on the small side, I thought, oh, okay. So I'll be really intrigued to see if I've like caught up now and I'm like on the line or over the line. But this is the bump. I don't know if you're going to be able to see very well in these leggings, but this is the bump now at 29 weeks tomorrow. So you can definitely see I've got a very excessive curve in my lower back now, which is obviously what's causing me a bit of stick. I am trying to like work on my posture and make sure that I'm not like sitting into that sort of duck bum position, because obviously that's going to make it worse. But just, yeah, you can't really help these things when you're pregnant. Obviously, here, you can read this one. That's my birth plan and stuff, babe. We haven't done that yet. But yeah, so that's the bump. I will try and upload some photos as well, where you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, I'd be really interested to see what I'm measuring. So yes, I have the midwife tomorrow, which is Friday, and then on Saturday I have my 4D scan, and I am so excited to go and see that. I'm really intrigued to see what baby is weighing. Obviously we still don't know the gender yet, so I'm gonna obviously tell them that I don't want to know the gender. But if I did want to find out, obviously tomorrow, Saturday, I obviously could find out if I wanted to. But me and Dan are, you know, we're set that we don't want to find out now, and we're just going to go to the end. But yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how they're lying as well, because when I went to the midwife last time, baby was literally lying like down my middle with the head up here. But the movements I've been feeling recently, I felt so low down, so I do have a feeling that maybe they've turned, and maybe all those cramps and stuff I was feeling was baby turning. So I'll be really intrigued to see that. I will try and do a little video. I probably should have waited to do this video until after then, so I could show my scan and if anything happened with the midwife, but I will do another video on that, I'm sure, of my scan, so you guys can see that, and I'll share some. I think I get a video with it. I've gone to a different place this time, so with Alula, I went to Window to the Womb, but they've basically moved now and they're in a different part of Bristol, and it's just quite a long drive for us to do, for like, because the scan's not even that long, so it'd be a long drive there and a long drive back, and Alula's come in, so I've gone to a different place which is a little bit closer, but I've heard good things about it, and I'm allowed to take up to 5 people with me, which I think is so nice. So I'm taking Dan, obviously Alula, my mum and my stepdad are going to be coming with me, and it's going to be so nice. So I spoke about movements have really ramped up, and the midwife did say that between like 28 and 30 something weeks is when like baby's movements really increase, and I've really noticed that, like, they're so visible from the outside now. Well, they have been for a while, to be honest, but like, yeah, I just love watching it. I could literally sit and watch it all day. It's just the most amazing feeling. I can never get bored of it. I think all women love it, but I actually had a client and a friend of mine that hated the feeling of the baby moving when she was pregnant. So yeah, but I just love it. Like, I could literally never get bored of that feeling, watch it all day. It's just the best feeling ever. I haven't actually managed to capture that much movement. Like with Alula, I had a lot more time to sit around and like do it again and film it. This time I haven't really caught. I've caught like a little bit, but I swear they know. Like whenever you get your phone out to record or like say, oh my god, mum, look, they stop. Like they know, don't they? It's so strange. But yeah, movements have definitely ramped up. I've been getting a lot, and I mean a lot, of heartburn. Got this with Alula, but I don't remember it getting that bad until I was really near the end of pregnancy, so like 35, 36 weeks. But it's got, yeah, really bad. The only thing I have found that helps me with heartburn is Love Hearts, the sweets. Don't really know how it works, but they do work. But I don't really take anything else. I'm the kind of person that will avoid all kind of pills and medicines and things if I can help it. So I don't really take any Gaviscon or anything like that. I just take Love Hearts, and that actually seems to work, even though it's just sugar, which probably isn't the best. But yeah, heartburn is definitely ramped up. I've also been getting a lot of problems with my teeth. So I had a lot of problems with my teeth when I was pregnant with Alula, which actually led to some long-term issues for me that I'm actually still going through treatment now for. It was awful. Basically, when I was pregnant with Lula, my gums bled like hell. Like, they bled so much, and I ended up basically losing some gum, which is quite rare. But I mean, it's common to have problems with your teeth when you're pregnant, which is why they advise you go to the dentist and you get the dentist free and stuff like that. But all of the treatment that I've been needed, because I've been having to see a periodontist, or periodontist, I don't know how you say it, that's private. You don't get that on the NHS, so I've had to pay a lot of money to get my teeth. It's not even my teeth are fine, it's my gums. So yeah, that was like an ongoing thing anyway, and now being pregnant again, the hormones have ramped it up again. So the last couple of weeks, they've just been really bothering me. My gums feel very sensitive. They're not bleeding, which is good, but I know that just because they're not bleeding doesn't mean there's not a problem. So I'm gonna ring back my dentist and see if I can go in and see him, because I really can't afford to lose any more gum. I've got quite receded gums, and it's one of my biggest insecurities. I've already had one gum graft, so gum surgery on the top tooth, but my bottom teeth are probably the worst and what need doing a lot. But yeah, I'm just one of the unlucky ones, but I've noticed that my gums are bothering me again this time. It's just ramped up recently. So I'm going to ask the midwife. I don't know whether they check for that anyway, but I'm going to ask if she could possibly check my B12, because I do know that if you're low in B12, that can like affect your gums and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to check that as well, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. I do coconut oil pulling. I'm so good with my flossing and stuff like that. So I'm doing everything that I should be doing, and hopefully it's just like they feel like they're sensitive, but they're okay, hopefully. But that's one thing that's really bothering me at the moment, and it's definitely pregnancy related, because I had amazing, lovely, healthy teeth and gums before I was pregnant with Alula, and then it all just went downhill from there. Another thing I've been having recently is when I blow my nose. So I've had quite a stuffy and runny nose, and I know that that's something women can get in pregnancy. I haven't had a cold or anything like that. Like, I've been absolutely fine. I've literally just got a bit of a stuffy nose, and I know that like sinusitis is something that happens in pregnancy as well, I think. Like hormone causes a congested nose. But I've noticed that when I do blow my nose, there's like blood. So I think I'm just like bursting little tiny blood vessels in my nose or something when I blow my nose. I'm not even blowing it hard. I don't blow my nose that often, but when I do, I have noticed there's little bits of blood there. And again, I think that's completely normal and nothing to worry about. Obviously, I'll mention it to the midwife. Whenever I have my blood pressure checked, my blood pressure is always really low. So it's definitely not high blood pressure or anything like that. I think it's just when you're pregnant, you have a lot more blood volume. So I think it's probably just that. And my blood vessels are just popping quite easily in my nose. So in terms of weight gain now, last time I did this video, I think I was about 24 weeks, and I said that I had put on 5.5 kilos since the start. I'm now obviously 29 weeks tomorrow, and my weight gain is around 10 kilos now. So since 24 weeks, in 5 weeks, I put on like 4.5 kilos. I'm like smack bang in the middle of the healthy weight gain, like recommendations, whatever they are. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not stressing about it. I do have days where I feel really rubbish about my body and don't like the way that I look. Only because when I get pregnant, I get big everywhere. I know some people are going to say, no, you don't, like you really don't, but I know my body and I know I do. I have a lot more cellulite, dimples, like my hips, my legs, just my arms. I just get a lot more fat everywhere, and it's healthy, it's normal, like it's needed for the baby. You know, we're meant to have fat on our bodies, but it's just, yeah, it's just frustrating sometimes when, like, especially me being really into my fitness and looking after my body, you feel like it's slipping away from you and there's nothing you can do about it, even though I'm still training. I've been eating a lot better as well. It's just one of those things, and I just can't help but get jealous sometimes when I see these girls when they've just got the beautiful bump and everything else is still small, and they probably feel bigger themselves, but they still just have like the small legs and the small everything, and they've just got the bump, like literally the bump, whereas me, I'm like big everywhere, or bigger everywhere. So yeah, I'm finding that hard, but honestly just remaining grateful, because I know that the extra fat that my body is storing will be used to produce breast milk, because I do plan to breastfeed again, and that to me is just, it's just amazing, isn't it, really? The female body is absolutely amazing. So I'm trying to remain grateful and remind myself of that it's doing exactly what it should be. But yeah, like I said, I have been eating a lot better. That was one of the goals that I set myself in the previous videos. I started tracking my food again. I wasn't doing it because it just felt so overwhelming, and just like I didn't need to do that when I was pregnant, but I wanted to do it just to make sure that I am getting enough protein in, and also just getting enough of the right foods, and just eating enough in general, to be honest, because when I lost my appetite, I was not eating anywhere near enough, and obviously that was making me feel even more tired. So I don't recommend to like my clients that I train that are pregnant to track their food, because it can become quite obsessive. But for me, it's just really helped me become more aware of the things that I'm putting into my mouth. I do find that when I track, I do make better choices anyway, because like entering it into my phone is that sort of like accountability and like acknowledging what I'm eating. So I just find I do make better choices. So started tracking what I eat again. I'm not like sticking to a goal of calories or anything like that. I'm just literally seeing how much I'm eating. If I get to the end of the day and I think, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten enough today, then I eat a little bit more. Basically, that is it. But it's been helping me. It's definitely been helping me. Training is still feeling really good. I was having a little bit of SI joint pain and SPD, or pelvic girdle pain, but since I have adapted my workouts to include some sort of rehabby type movements for that, it's gone. I'm so grateful, because I thought that I was going to go and have to see a chiropractor and like that was it now, it was just going to get worse and worse. But it just goes to show that if you're having pelvic girdle pain, you do not need to live with it. You can work with a trainer like me or another professional that knows what they're doing. You don't have to live with it in pregnancy. It doesn't have to be something that you put up with and it gets worse. You can absolutely do something about it. And I've shown that, like, it's literally gone. Sometimes my SI joint still feels a little bit funny, but it's just got so much better, and it doesn't bother me now at all. And if it does, then I know what I need to do now. So if you ever need help with that, holla. I have also noticed that I have started leaking colostrum. Like, it's not loads, I don't have like wet patches, but I do notice when I take my clothes off at the end of the day, there's like a little bit there that's dried, where it's obviously leaked throughout the day, which is nice actually in a weird way, because I never leaked with a Lula at all. I collected colostrum towards the end of my pregnancy, and I'd always get some if I like squeezed and like hand expressed it, but I never sort of just leaked. But this time I'm leaking a little bit, so that makes me feel positive that my body's doing what it should be doing, and I will hopefully be able to breastfeed again, as long as, you know, baby is able to feed and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm really happy about that actually. I know not all women are happy about leaking boobs, but yeah, my boobs have definitely grown a little bit more as well. It was weird, like when I was pregnant with a Lula, my boobs were massive. I had like nothing before, and they got really big. But I think because I was still breastfeeding in this pregnancy, and then I stopped at about 16 weeks, my boobs didn't really grow. But I feel like since I've got into the 3rd trimester, they're going through a little growth spurt now, and obviously I'm leaking colostrum, so that's good. I will collect colostrum again when I get to full term, because I know you're not supposed to do it before full term. So I will harvest some colostrum again, just to help me out in the early newborn days. But that's one other thing that's happening, is I am leaking, which is so weird, but yeah, really happy about that actually. And yeah, just the only other thing really is the mum brain and like the mental side of things. I touch on this in every video. It's so hard. Like, I was in a really rubbish place, and if you look on my channel, there are some videos where I was like, you know, really taking some time out to focus on myself and try and get myself back to a better mental state, because I was in a really rubbish dark place a few weeks ago. I still am not like 100% out of that. I still have days where I feel really low, but I'm doing things about it now. Like, I've had holistic counselling, I've had a past life regression therapy, I had an interview for some CBT, but we decided that CBT maybe wasn't the best thing for me, and maybe the better thing would be counselling. So I'm looking into counselling now. But yeah, I did finally pluck up the courage to speak to my midwife and say, look, I'm struggling, and she was so nice, so supportive. So I just want to end this video by saying, if you're pregnant and you're struggling, or even, you know, even if you're not pregnant and you're struggling, ask for help. Like, it's completely okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. They do not think that you're a bad mum. They do not think you're incapable of looking after your children. If anything, it shows that you are strong, because asking for help is really hard. It took me, what was I, 25 weeks into my pregnancy to actually pluck up the courage to ask for help, and I nearly talked myself out of it when I was sat in the waiting room, but I did, and I'm glad I did, because my midwife was so lovely. So yeah, even if it's not to your midwife, just speak to somebody close to you or somebody that you trust, and just tell them that you're struggling, because there's nothing wrong with asking for support, asking for help. You don't need to struggle. Pregnancy is a time when hormones are crazy, emotions are crazy, and you need all the help that you can get sometimes. So please don't suffer in silence, even if it's going to be reaching out to me for some advice. I'd love to, you know, speak to some of you guys. If you feel like I can help you, then I will. But yeah, I just wanted to end that video with that. I have nothing else to update right now. I think I've covered everything. I think I've probably forgotten something, but I'm going to do another video when I go for my 4D scan, hopefully, and show some of that. I'm hoping they might let me film some of it. If not, I'll have some photos and stuff I can share. So I will update you in probably about a week or so after that scan. And if anything I've forgotten or anything has changed, I will let you know. If you've got to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, it's so nice to have you here. I'd love to have you stick around, so please do subscribe, give the video a little thumbs up, and drop a comment below if you're pregnant. Let me know how far along you are, if you can relate to anything that I'm saying, particularly the gum thing, because I feel like I never really meet anybody else that's had that kind of problems with their teeth when they're pregnant. So if you have, please let me know so I'm not alone. But I'm gonna love you and leave this video here. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.